Hello and welcome to Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures on what was a beautiful, bright, sunny morning with blue skies very early on. I'm talking 7, 8 o'clock this morning. Now it's, well, unfortunately clouding over. There's a few darker clouds and I'm not looking forward to that. We've had enough rain here on my Yorkshire allotment and it's prevented some of my seeds from starting to germinate. Luckily, I have backups. It's always good to have backups. Well, I hope you're well. I've been away for a little while, but I'm back and I'm hoping to continue here on the Yorkshire allotment, filming now as the weather gets better. Please, better. The days are longer, the days are brighter, and it's absolutely wonderful. And look, the sun's come out to greet us. So sit back, relax, put your feet up, have a cuppa. I'm going to have one in a minute. And welcome once again to Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. Almost forgot where you were then. Well, actually, it's really quite warm with the sun beating down here, which I quite enjoy and quite love. Well, I'm sat here next to my bed of strawberries, and look how they've come up. They have been looking a little drab recently, but in the last few days we have had some sun, and it's really revived them. The ones under here, the ones I transplanted, well, they actually, believe it or not, have been attacked by bindweed, so I've got to be really careful. I've lost a couple. I think due to the really heavy rains we've had here, and it's made everything, well, soggy, damp, wet, as rain does. Difficult sometimes to protect against it unless you put proper covers over. This is just a netting, so it's allowed the water through, because you need that, you see. You do need the water, but not often, and not as much as we've had here. I'll stop going on about the rain. It's luckily though, as I say, my strawberries now, I have a dilemma at this time of year, because these strawberries decide, well, to put out strawberries, and they've all flowered, and well, sometimes you come along and I cut all the flowers off, so then you get a late development of strawberries. And I think these ones behind me over here, I've got some over there, will be later, but these are going to be here, I'd say mid-May. They're starting to come now, so it'll take a few more weeks for actually the strawberries to develop, but I've left them. I'm not going to cut them off this year. I'm going to allow them to become fruits. It's very exciting. Now, of course, at this stage, all the birds flying around and my 2 pigeons here, they've got their eye on these already. So these are going to have to be covered very shortly with some sort of netting to keep them all away. So we'll be looking at that. I'll make a frame for those and get them covered up. It's April here, and I say April, it's mid-April already. Can you believe that? Only another week to go. We're at the end of April. Unbelievable. It's going so fast. And well, I know lots of you out there are doing brilliantly well. In fact, we've had some photographs from Darren in Wakefield. And Darren, you're a great contributor to the show. It's really good of you. And I know that your mum has now started again, but I'm going to ask for permission to use her photographs. I want you this week. And of course, your sister's involved too now, which is very exciting. And we'll talk to her as well. But your photographs, and this is what you've been doing in your allotment. It looks amazing. You've got such great growing area. Your tomatoes are coming along. And look at all the vegetables you're growing. Your onions, all sorts of things. Lots and lots of stuff that's coming up. You must be in a really sheltered, great space, and a really good, unwaterlogged ground, because things are really taking. A lot of my stuff's still in the greenhouse, and we'll get out very shortly. Hopefully early May, I think, just to give the ground. I keep putting more and more stuff into my ground. I know you've fully manured yours, which is great, and well, you're getting your just rewards, as I say. And fantastic. Well done, you. Really inspirational and brilliant. Carry on the good work, and great. Now, let's have a think. We're in April. And what can we do? If you're still just joining us, or you're still thinking, I'm not quite sure whether I want to grow anything this year, there are lots of things you can still sow now. In fact, a lot of gardeners wait until now, until they start sowing. So actually, if you've got anything in at all, anything growing at all, that's a good start. But don't panic, you've not missed the boat, because you can sow right up until July. Lots of things. Let's have a look. I've got a few packets here. And well, of course, we can always sow carrots right up to July, believe it or not, March to July. And I'm going to put some more in, because I think the ones I've put in already outside are not at the moment doing very well, but I reckon they could have been just so waterlogged with the amount of rain. They were covered for a while, but we'll see. We need some sunlight on that to warm the soil up. I'm going to cover it. One of the things you can do with carrot seeds, especially for outside, is put some cardboard on top and just cover them. It'll warm the soil and they will grow. And once they start coming out of the soil, and take the cardboard off, obviously. But they'll love that. I'm going to try that here and get some cardboard down, some sort of protection. I may even cover with my waterproof cover, but there's probably no water gets through, so you have to move it around, which is fine. But we'll see if I can revive those. So I've got 3 sets of carrots here. I've got well, the orbital ones, and I've got some purple ones and some hardy, hopefully resistant to carrot fly, Chantenay carrots, and they're brilliant stuff. Again, so March to June, look here on the packet, so March to July, March to July. So it's still time, get your carrots in. Now what I've done in my greenhouse, and here's a photograph, these are carrots. I've sown them inside. Now, they say you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to sow carrots where they are. But later on, say mid-March, mid-May, so they have March has vanished, mid-May, when they're bigger and stronger, I will transplant them outside. Just have to be really careful of carrot fly. So don't touch them if you can help it. Get the soil up, pop them straight into the holes. They're sown really well enough in the pods to be able to put directly back into the soil without disturbing them too much, because it's a smell that attracts the carrot fly. But we'll put all sorts of stuff in there. We'll put some onions with them, and also to try and garlic, and to try and get the carrot fly confused, as it were. So there we are. You can sow, as I say, carrots. We've also got beetroots. These are bolt hardy variety. I've got some in the greenhouse. They're a little slow to come, but I think, again, it's not been warm enough here. They're in the greenhouse now because they're slowly coming up, which is marvellous. And these, again, March to July, so you're not late yet to growing anything. Turnips, if you like a good turnip. I love a good turnip, especially in stews. I know it's early on, but by the time these are ready, it'll be stew weather. Again, April to September. So that means they'll grow right through the winter period into next year. You'll have early turnips next year. And again, it says here, harvest June to October. So that means if you sow at September here, they'll go right through to next year, 2025, you'll be having. And once you start this rotation of crops, you can see that you'll always have some sort of food on your plate, which is very good. Sweet corn, mine are slowly coming up. I need to get them out and get them outside. They need to be together so that they grow together. And well, again, March to May, so it's not too late. And then I've got my beef tomatoes. Now the strange thing about my beef tomatoes here in the allotment, I had quite a lot. Some have decided to give up ghost. They've had enough. Yet the others are doing really, really well. So I'm not quite sure what's going off there. They are slowly developing. They're in the smaller greenhouse now. Because unfortunately, here on the allotment, I think the greenhouse that I've got here, the larger one, that's been here of 60 odd years from what I can gather. But before I got the allotment, it wasn't very well looked after. I've tried to look after it, but I think, unfortunately, it's becoming a little bit dangerous now. I've had really high winds, it's dislodged some of it. I've got it covered in the old cover from my growing frame, from my polytunnel, but I think it's on its last legs. So maybe I'm going to keep it going. We'll grow tomatoes in there, get that in the soil in there, because the soil's really fertile inside there. I'm going to clear it all out again. And this is what you see here. I've been doing some more clearing up on the allotment. I need now to get in big bins, liners, and get it to the tip. And we can carry on with that. Out for now, bird scarers. You pop them on a pole, and when the wind blows, it makes a noise, and they're brilliant. They really do work. And It's fantastic. And so that's all it is. It's just your bottle and you stick it on. And I can't get it off because there's actually, I don't know how that's happened. It's got a snail in there. Now, I don't know how that snail's got in there. It wasn't in there when I put it on. Isn't that fascinating? Well, unfortunately, it's not going to come out. Oh, there we go. It's spinning. Isn't that amazing? Bit of wind just keeps the birds away from anything you've sown. Obviously, these are quite high up, but you can have them low down, have them wherever you want. Out for an out feature. Out for an out bird scarers. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Nothing like getting down on the floor with your plants, you know. Here, just here, got one here, one here, one here, and there's a couple more over there. My potatoes are coming through. As I said, because of all the rain we've had, I panicked because these have been really slow to come through, but they made it. They're coming through. Because of course, when you have too much water, everything rots in the ground. These, fantastic. They're called Home Guard. As I said before, they're made for war, Second World War, and they're supposedly high yielding. So fingers crossed. These need to get a little bit bigger, and then I can cover them up again, and they'll grow through again, hopefully setting great shoots out, producing lots and lots of potatoes. Oh, isn't that nice when things start to happen? So lovely. What we have got actually, I've got a rogue potato on the bank above where these are, because these are set into the soil, so I've got a bit more growing area. You don't have to mound up as much because you just fill it with the soil that you've taken out. So if you've got short for space, just put a mound next to it, dig deep, put a mound next to it, then pop that soil back on top. Because often once you do potatoes, it's really hard sometimes because you move the soil around and think, well, I've got no soil to actually put back on. So put a mound next to it and then put it back. Or some people actually just mound them up straight away and leave them and allow them to grow through. I like to have a little bit of them and then cover them up again so they get a bit of daylight and go back into darkness. Daylight, darkness, marvellous, fantastic. Yeah, I've got a rogue one growing on a bank. I don't know to leave it or move it, I'm not quite sure because they very, very rarely give you any more potatoes. Well, once again, thank you very much for watching Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. It's great to be back. Thank you for all your photographs. We'll look through them more now the next few weeks to see all the things you're growing. I can't wait now to start transplanting some of my sunflowers from in here, some of my sweet peas in here, and get them here into the allotment, into the ground. It's just so exciting. And to see what comes next. That's what I love about using vegetables and growing vegetables and seeds and flowers, is whether they come or not. Some years you have brilliant stuff, and some years it just doesn't happen. But what is happening, and look at these here, my lovely, lovely raspberries. I've got raspberries here, and I've got raspberries, we've got a gooseberry bush, and right over in the corner, I don't really see it, we've got blueberries, and I've never had any blueberries off them, but they're looking stronger this year than they've ever done before. I'm hoping we're going to get some blueberries from them this year. But, well, you never know, do you? But it's still a beautiful coloured bush anyway. Well, I'll see you next time here on Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. If you want to send photographs, it's jezgrows@outlook.com. jezgrows@outlook.com. It's going across the bottom here as we speak. And please subscribe. It's great. You'll get a little ting ting ting, and that'll tell you that the new episodes are out. And we'll keep them going over the next few weeks. And hopefully we'll get more photographs from you, from the viewers, from around the world. I look forward to it and hear all about what you're growing. And hello and welcome to the new subscribers. Thank you for all your messages. We'll take a look at those in the next Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. Well, ta-ra for now.